Hello and welcome to In Case You Missed It for September 2020. This month, there were a few interesting things that caught my attention that you may not have heard about, and I think you'll enjoy. So, are you ready to see what you may have missed this month? Well, let's get into it. Our first story comes from Viviers, Belgium, where an urban legend has been proven to be true. Every city in the world has its own urban legend. Perhaps the legends have been altered as it's passed down over the years, but usually one thing remains the same for all of them. No one can truly prove if they're real or just made up stories. Well, in this case, the urban legend, which said that the former mayor of Viviers' heart was buried under a fountain, is real. Renovation work actually led to the discovery of the heart. The heart was sitting in an ethanol-filled jar that was sealed in a metal box under the fountain. The heart belonged to Pierre David, who was Viviers' first mayor after Belgium became an independent country. David created the city's first fire brigade, and he would let the public in to watch city officials debate and go over issues. Pierre David died in 1839 after falling off a building while he was still serving in office. That actually would have made a good too crazy to believe. Staying in Belgium but moving to Brussels, we find a unique dining experience. Dining in the Sky, as it's called, will have you suspended 164 feet in the air by crane, and you'll be strapped in your seats while eating your delicious meal. Dining in the Sky temporarily stopped due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which we're still in, unfortunately, but reopened this month following some new guidelines. The original platform seated 22 people somewhat close together along the perimeter. Now, however, 32 people will now reserve 4-person private tables spaced apart from one another. This has created not only space for diners, but also chefs and servers. So, if you're interested in dining in the sky, it'll roughly cost you about $350 per person. I think I'd rather just go to McDonald's with my feet firmly planted on the ground and pay $3.50. Now let's travel to jolly O, England. No, the picture you're seeing is not something from the next James Bond movie. It's actually a paramedic in a jet suit. In the Lake District region of England, paramedics have been testing out the jet suit to see if it can cut down on travel time to get to someone in need. The terrain in that part of England is very rugged and filled with amateur hikers who get injured all the time. In one simulation, where a 10-year-old girl broke her leg, the jet suit was used to get to her. The simulation showed that the jet suit was able to reach the girl in 90 seconds. It would have taken 25 minutes on foot thanks to the terrain. The suit has a top speed of 32 miles per hour and can reach an altitude of 12,000 feet. So don't be surprised to see literal heroes flying in to the rescue in the future. A rat called Magawa received a gold medal. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard that correctly. A rat named Magawa was honored by the British veterinarian charity, the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, and received a gold medal for his services in finding unexploded landmines. Magawa is an African giant pouched rat who was trained by the APOPO to detect landmines. Using an excellent sense of smell and memory, Magawa has discovered 39 landmines and 28 items of unexploded ordnance and can search an area the size of a tennis court in 30 minutes. something that would take a human with a metal detector up to 4 days. The APOPO said, unlike metal detectors, the rats ignore scrap metal and only sniff out explosives, making them fast and efficient landmine detectors, said Christoph Cox, chief executive of APOPO, the nonprofit organization which trained Magawa. It also trains the creatures to detect tuberculosis. It takes about 9 months to train rats like Magawa, APOPO said, adding that they can live up to 8 years. The creatures are light-footed, so do not set off the landmines, and no rats has yet been harmed during operations. Magawa is the first rat in the PDSA 77-year history to receive the honor. Former winners include police dogs, horses, pigeons, and a cat. So, next time you see a rat, don't dismiss it as a nasty, dirty, disease-carrying flea bag. That rat could be the next landmine-detecting hero the world needs. Finally, we're headed to Lima, Peru, where some shamans are trying to determine who will win the US presidential election. The Peruvian shamans performed an ancestral ritual on the US elections, but very much like the people voting in the states, there was little agreement on who would win. The shamans were chanting and blowing shell instruments dressed in very colorful attire. They invoked the Pachamama, known as Mother Earth, for the US vote to take place in peace without attacks or any witchcraft between the rivals. I can't speak on the witchcraft portion, but something tells me Mother Earth ignored the peace and the attack part if the first presidential debate is anything to go by. Shaman teacher Anna Marie Simeon is in favor of Biden and has said, "That is why we are cleansing him. We have seen that they are attacking him with witchcraft, with a black doll, with a voodoo doll. They are shadowing to remove him." During the ritual, the shamans rub medicinal plants, fruits, and even a living snake on the photos of Democratic candidate Biden and Republican President Donald Trump. Master Shaman Pablo Torres is in favor of Trump. When asked why, he replied, "Why? Because he is deserving. He needs good energies, good vibes from his followers," he said. "We are supporters of the gentleman. He will win. He is a winner." And that concludes In Case You Missed It for September 2020. Thank you all for watching, and if you know of some interesting stories that happened this month, be sure to share it with us in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Those links can be found in the description below. Thank you once again for watching, and we will be seeing you in October.